Good evening everyone. For our tonight's video, we're going to continue our lesson last time. So last week, we have finished our lesson present simple. So tonight, we're going to discuss present continuous. But before we get started, if you're not yet our subscribers, please subscribe my husband's YouTube channel. This is Fernando B. Camacho Jr. And then please share and like the video that we're about to post in our YouTube channel. Also, please click the notification bell so you will be always updated with our videos. Okay, so tonight, let's have a new lesson. Our lesson is present continuous. So last time, we have discussed that present simple is very, very important in our daily lives. One of the functions or one of the advantages of having present simple in our life is it talks about general thing. It talks about factual thing. It also talks about the things that we do every day, like our habit. It also talks about permanent things. So these are some of the examples that we discussed last time. For tonight, we're going to have a new lesson, present continuous. Actually, this is almost the total opposite of present simple. So tonight, I hope you will be learning with me because actually when I was younger, I was also very confused with this kind of lesson. So I'm going to make your mind a little bit clearer so we can speak fluently and we could say that we know English even though we are Filipinos and even though you are also Asian people. Okay, so let's start with number one. So number one rule is, it is used for something that is happening at or around the time of speaking. This is the thing that I'm doing right now. So when we say it is used for something that is happening at or around the time of speaking, I'll give some example. Let's say now, it's almost 8:10. So what do you think you're doing right now? Most probably you are watching, okay? You're watching me and then listening to me. Or let's say maybe your mothers out there, they are washing your dishes because most probably you finished eating your dinner. Or maybe your fathers are watching some maybe Fernando Jr. movies, right? This is also my husband's favorite and my father too. So, number one, it is something that we always do, we do at the time of speaking that is not yet done. Okay, so if you will look around this time, so you can see maybe your younger sister or your younger brother is crying. So that is not yet finished at the time that you are talking or speaking. So that is rule number one in present continuous. Okay, let's go with rule number two. Rule number two is, it is used for something can be done continuously but not happening at the time of speaking. This is a little bit confusing. But before I continue, I'll just want you to understand that present continuous is formed by using be verbs. Okay, last week, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, we reviewed also the be verbs. These are is, am, and are. And we have also were and was, but they are under the simple past, so I will not include them. So we are just focusing on the three be verbs. We have is, am, and are, plus the verb, and then we can add the ing. That's why we say, I am talking. You are listening. We will not use the simple past form of the verb like was or were because they're talking about the past continuous. What we're talking is the present time. Since we know that be verbs in the present time manner, we have is, am, and are. So we will just focus on these be verbs plus verb plus ing. Okay, let's go now with number two. So like what I've read, it is used for something can be done continuously but not happening at the time of speaking. So it's somehow very confusing, right? I'll give some examples of this. Actually, I can make kimchi. Let's say I make kimchi for sometimes. For instance, I'm making kimchi right now. Since when we make kimchi, it doesn't last only for 2 hours. In my case, when I make kimchi, it is about 4 hours. Okay, let's try to imagine this. Okay, since I have some cabbages, I put some salt around each leaf. Then I have to soak it with salt for maybe, let's say, 2 hours. It depends upon how salty I want it to taste. However, while I'm making my kimchi, I suddenly forgot to buy, let's say, kutsukaru. If you're very familiar with kimchi, we put kutsukaru. This is a kind of powdered pepper which we can buy from the Korean store. So let's say, oh, I forgot to buy some kutsukaru. So I just leave my cabbages with some salt. Then I have to buy kutsukaru. Okay, let's say I went to a Korean store. Then when I went there, it happened that I met a friend. Then my friend would say, "Hi, Yhelene, how long, let's say, long time no see. How is it going?" So I said, "Oh, I'm fine." And then my friend probably asked me, "Oh, since we haven't met for quite a long time, why don't we eat out, or let's just talk with some restaurants so we can chat around?" But I would say with my friend, "I'm so sorry because this time I'm making kimchi." Okay, so for my example, at the time of talking, at the time or in front of my friend, it's not really I'm making kimchi during that time. In that time, I'm talking to my friend, but I have started doing making kimchi and I need to continue that when I go home. So, we use present continuous number 2 for something can be done continuously but not happening at the time of speaking. These are the things that we have started doing. Then we have to continue it later. Okay, so at the time of I'm talking to my friend, it doesn't mean that in front of her, I'm making kimchi. So meaning to say, when I go home, I have to continue my kimchi making. Okay, I'll give some more example. Let's say I'm painting my house. And we know that painting will take a long time. If your house is big, if let's say until second floor, and then you're doing it by yourself, let's say I'm painting my room. Suddenly, you figured out that some of the paint is not enough to finish your painting. So even though you have some paint, you're in a hurry, and then you went out and you went to construction supply to buy some paint that you're lacking. So when you are going there to the construction supply, it happened that you met your mom. And then your mom, "Oh, how are you? You're also here in the market. I want to buy some fish here. That's why I'm here. So why you look so dirty?" Okay, my mom would say like, "Because I'm painting our house." But it doesn't mean in front of my mom, I'm really painting our house. It means to say, I have started painting my house. I just need to buy some extra paint, then I'll continue doing it when I go home. Okay, so that is rule number 2. So, it is very applicable with the things that we do continuously. Let's say, reading Harry Potter books. I always use this as an example. We know that Harry Potter books, this is in series, right? Okay, so we have maybe book 1, book 2, book 3. Then, it happened that you meet your friends and then you haven't been meeting for some times, and then some of your friends will say, "Oh, what keeps you busy?" So, you would say, "I'm reading Harry Potter books." But when you are in the restaurant, it doesn't mean that you are reading that book. It means to say you have started reading it and you are not finished doing that, and you have to continue that later. Okay? So we also use that for something that those who want to write or those who are writers, normally they don't write, okay, a long novel for just one writing. Sometimes they need some inspiration. Sometimes they go on the mountains, right? Sometimes they go hiking. Sometimes they go some quiet places to be inspired so they can continue writing the novels. It means to say, this number 2 rule applies to the things that we have started doing, but we can continue that later. So we have to have sometimes a break, okay? Let's say you're watching some drama, right? But we know that dramas take a little bit long time. Maybe it has some 5 episodes, 10, 20, 30, or 40. Isn't it? But of course, when you're watching drama, it doesn't mean that you will just watch, you will not eat, you will not pee, you will not sleep. But if you started doing it and then you had to continue it next time, these number 2 rules apply. Okay? So I hope it's clear. Now let's go with number 3. So number 3 is, it is just to talk about changes happening now or around now. Okay, if you see nowadays, if we will look around, we have a lot of chaos, or let's say a lot of problems this time. My perfect example is, if you listen or you watch news, normally they say like this: COVID cases, or say the number of COVID cases in the Philippines are getting higher. See, I use are getting higher because these are the things that are changes happening now or around now. Meaning to say, it's not every time it happens. Normally we use that for, let's say, price of oil, let's say fare increase. So normally we use that for something that is changing, happening right now or around now. So we could discuss like population. Let's say the population of the Philippines is increasing, okay, due to a lot of lockdowns or due to a lot of quarantine, because most people or most Filipinos stay at home. So we could say that the population in Manila is rising. The price of oil is getting higher. Okay, or I always say this to my students. Let's say when my student came here for the first time in the Philippines, then their, let's say their skills are not that good, okay, when they came here for the first time. And then I see their improvement maybe later after a month or two. So I could say, wow, your pronunciation is getting better. Okay, let's say, oh, your reading is getting smoother. So we can use this for some changes. Somehow, when we meet our friends, I always tell to my students that we sometimes use this also in a negative way, but I hope we don't use that in a negative way. If we don't see our friends for a long time, we often greet, right? So how do we greet each other when we see our friends? Is it, you're getting fatter? Or, oh, you're getting darker. These are the negative things that we tend to say that we should avoid. Actually, this is very, very famous on Facebook. They have some comparison in America. If Americans meet, okay, if Americans meet, they say, how are you? Oh, I'm great. I'm fabulous. Oh, you look prettier this time. But in the Philippines, when we meet our friends, oh, you're getting fatter. You're getting darker. We're so negative. So I always tell to my students that when we use things that we see some changes, we try to be positive. So we could say, oh, you're getting fatter. Maybe she was thinner and she looks better. And then you can add more. Oh, you are getting fatter and it fits you. You look so great this time. And then your friend will say, oh, thank you, because I really, really hope to be a little bit fatter because I'm so thin. So let's use this when you see some changes around you with your friends. So we try to be positive. Okay, let's go now with the fourth rule, or the last rule for tonight, but it has part 2. So don't forget, on Sunday next week, I'm going to continue it because my rules in present continuous my rules are until number 8. Okay, so tonight I will be finishing my live by the fourth rule. Okay, the fourth rule is, it is used to talk. Sorry, this should be talk. Okay. So it is used to talk about arranged appointment. Okay, so last week we discussed that present continuous is our regular schedule. Okay, let's say I go to school every Monday until Friday, and then on weekends I go to church. Okay, I visit my mother, or let's say I visit my grandparents. So this is our regular schedule. But in number 4, it is used to talk about arranged appointments. So in this case, your regular schedule will be a little bit changed. So we have to use ing form. Okay, for example, let's say March 16, it is my birthday. Let's say every March 16, I celebrate my birthday with my family. This is regular every year. It doesn't change. But if I want to change my regular schedule to something new, I have to use present continuous. So I would say, I would talk to my parents like, Mom and Dad, I think this year I can't celebrate my birthday in your house because my husband and I are planning to go somewhere. And then my mom would ask, wow, this is a new schedule. Normally, you always spend your birthday with us or in our house. So what's your, let's say, arranged appointment? So I would say, my husband and I are hiking. Wow, I really miss hiking. So we could say that we are hiking. So I have arranged appointment. Meaning to say, this year, during my birthday, I have to change my regular schedule. Like, I always go to my parents' house. I always celebrate my birthday in my parents' house. But this time, I will change it. So I make some appointment with my husband that we are hiking. So when I use the word we are hiking, it's that at the time of speaking we are hiking. Nowadays, I think it's still illegal because of our pandemic. So it's like an arranged appointment. Okay, another example, let's say you're dating your boyfriend. So normally you have a schedule like every Friday after work, you date your girlfriend. This is your regular schedule, so nobody could change it. So in your calendar, you mark it Friday afternoon after work, I date my girlfriend. Suddenly, there is some emergency that somehow you cannot go out on a date with your girlfriend. So you have to call. Of course, if it's arranged appointment, many women are really, really hoping to, I mean, they're looking forward to that day. Because especially we are looking forward with our schedule, but suddenly there is an emergency, so you have to call to your girlfriend. So you would say to your girlfriend, I'm sorry honey, I think we cannot go on a date this Friday afternoon because there is an emergency. So the girl said, oh really, what is that, can I know? So your boyfriend would say, actually my dog died and I'm so sad, so I have to bury my dog. So I'm upset this time because actually later I'm burying my dog in our backyard. So in that case, he changed his regular schedule with some arranged appointment. Okay, so this is number 4. It is used to talk about arranged appointment. So it has future meaning. So at the time of speaking, you're not yet doing that activity, but you will do that in the future. Okay, so I will just have a recap before I greet some of our viewers here. So before we end, I will review our 4 rules that we discussed about present continuous. So number 1 is, it is used for something that is happening at or around the time of speaking. So like this time, what are you doing right now? Are you washing your clothes because you're assigned to do it? Are you washing your dishes because you have just finished your dinner? Or maybe you're listening to me. So these are the things that you're doing right now at the time of speaking. Okay, let's go with number 2. It is used for something can be done continuously but not happening at the time of speaking. So these are the activities that we have started doing, then we have to continue it doing it later. So we have started it, somehow we have to pause for a minute or an hour, but later we will go back, okay, doing that the thing that we have started doing. Okay, number 3, it is used to talk about changes happening now or around now. So as you observe what is happening around now in our economy, with the price of vegetables, with the price of oil, so we can use this. We can say that I think nowadays vegetable price is getting lower. So we could say like that, oh, I feel happy these days because I think the vegetables prices are getting lower. Praise God. Okay, so thank you for that because we have to eat a lot of vegetables. Okay, the last one is, it is used to talk about arranged appointment. If suddenly there is an emergency meeting, let's say in your company, you have a regular meeting. Let's say every Friday at 4 p.m. you have your regular meeting with your boss. But suddenly there is an emergency meeting. So if we have an emergency situation, we have to use arranged appointment. So we have to use that with ing. You could say, oh, we have an emergency meeting. So instead of meeting at 4 p.m. we are meeting at 3 p.m. I don't know exactly, but the boss said we are meeting at 3 p.m. It means to say the regular schedule has suddenly changed. So it means the regular schedule doesn't change. If you want to change it, you have to use the ing form. Okay? So this is very, very useful in our daily conversation, our daily lives when we speak English. Okay? So I think I make myself clear. So if you have some comments, please try to comment. And before I end, I want to greet some people who are very close to me because I don't want to miss, okay, most of my friends. So I have to say good evening, Miss Glenda Conner and your family. I want to say hi, Von. You are now studying in Korea, in Handong University. Just keep fighting. I believe in you, okay? And I want also to greet all my co-workers in our room 2207. That's the room, the Sarah, I'm sorry. Room 2 in our, the First Uniting Christian School. We have the two handsome teachers, Sir T.P. Enriquez and Sir E.J. Alba. Good evening to all of you. And of course, the fabulous women teachers in our room. We have Ma'am Beth, Vanessa, and Ma'am Noemi Balaba. Good evening. And of course, we have Ma'am Hope, the hope of our room. And of course, our muse, I will not forget, Miss Charlene Gonzalez. So, good evening to all of you. I want also to say, shout out to my advisory class, grade 7 Sarah. I love you all. And I hope you try listening to all my videos because they will add information to your English life. And of course, I want to greet Miss Maricel Patan, the wife of Serene. Thank you for always watching and sharing my videos and my husband's videos. So thank you for all your support. And I think I have to greet some. I have Johnson Espejon. Actually, he was my former student in senior high. And Sir Michael, our head teacher in junior high, Sir Michael Aquino, good evening po. Yui Maranan, the very cute of my grade 7 student, James Roa, and then Charles Ocol, LJ Hernandez, Ricky Falcolan, Ma'am G. Dasas, hello ma'am, good evening. Our assistant, our principal, elementary principal, we have Ma'am Janice. Okay, hello po, good night. And then Ma'am Eris Ilano, hello po. Ma'am Michelle Barres, Ma'am Michelle Maylani, I think she is my, if I'm not mistaken, my niece. And Ma'am Jessa Lee, this is the co-worker of my husband. Yung Ruku, oy sir, pastor ko, I miss you and my brother misses you so much. Okay, he was one of my former students. He is a very kind pastor. He is a Korean. Also, Saison, Von Saison, good evening to you. We have also J.R. Lupasi Udani. So, this is Sir Udani. Good evening po. Of course, my BFF, Ma'am Liza Nirva, the head of our senior high school department. Good evening. Nurin, also my student, Nurin de Guzman. She is my student in grade 7. Bertito Milita, mga grade 12 student before. Good evening to all of you. We have also Veronica Ibabaw. And I think the Korean name is my student, Pastor Jong. Pastor Joy Jong, good evening. I'm very happy you're watching my live tonight. You really didn't miss it. I'm very happy because you promised that. And we have also Gigi de Ocampo, Sir Francis Casicas, their bakery I'm promoting. You order their bread. It's the bread is quite good. Jai, Lance Jericho Gruy, hello Gruy. You're he is one of my good students too. Sir J.M. Mercado, hello po. Delia, Ma'am Delia, the senior high school teacher of the First Uniting Christian School. Good evening. And of course, my Maria Antoinette Joy Polanco, good evening. And Ma'am Jane, good evening po. I think Ma'am Maureen misses you. Efficient Barato, my grade 12 student before. Hello, Efficient. And also we have Royce Policarpio, my student in, if I'm not mistaken, grade 7. And Brian Husayan. I guess, do I have something to greet tonight? Watching, okay, so I have to read some of the messages here. John Michael Aquino, watching while having my tea. Interesting topic, thank you sir. And then kakamiss ang ESL days from J.M. Mercado. I really miss our ESL days. Jane Guevara, hi teach, hello. Ma'am Joyce Nonoy Sabari. Okay, this is the mother of my student, which I think she's very successful this time. So good evening po, Ma'am Joyce. And then we have Bean Monar PS. Okay, she is my student. So hello, Bean. Charmaine Destajo Gidok is watching also. Good evening po to all of you. So I think I don't miss anyone. Do I have? Okay, so before I end my live tonight, so please, if you're not yet our subscribers, please just look for my husband's name. Just type Fernando B. Camacho Jr. And then please share and like the video that we're going to upload, because my husband will edit it and put in our YouTube channel. And please hit also the notification bell, so you will always be updated with all the videos that we're about to post. Okay, so thank you everyone. Good night. And God bless. That before we end, I hope you try to linger the things that we have studied, the present simple and present continuous. Though our life is very chaotic, I always tell you that we have to be simple and we have to be positive. So everyone, good night and God bless.